So we got a new figure announced from EXO-6, and this is Trelane, the Squire of Gothos. And it's funny because when they announced a few months ago that they were going to be releasing Android Ruck, which I have yet to pre-order, but I do plan on it. I wrote in one of the comments replying to someone that if there were any characters, one episode characters from the original series that I'd like to see, the first one I mentioned was Mark Leonard, who is, I believe, the only actor ever to play a Romulan, Klingon, and Vulcan. In the original series, he was a Romulan in I believe, the first episode that featured the Romulans. The other character that I mentioned was Trelane, so obviously I am a fan of this character because he came in at number 2. So first of all, we'll go through and give the product description. It says, portrayed with irresistible flair by the late William Campbell, Trelane delights in collecting human artifacts and fashions, fancies himself a gentleman of the Napoleonic era, and views the crew of the Enterprise as little more than fascinating playthings, toys for his amusement. Kirk's battle of wits against Trelane remains one of the finest cat-and-mouse confrontations of the entire original series, and the episode's shocking revelation that Trelane is in fact a petulant child being called to account by his parents recontextualizes everything that came before it in a single breathtaking moment. Then it mentions how these possibly the literal or spiritual ancestor of Q, which I don't think was ever intended. The character from the Next Generation, who was, I guess, basically omnipotent. And in the original episode with William Campbell, which was the Squire of Gothos, he was shown to be basically had no limits to his powers, which was why at the end, when it was shown that he was just a child, was kind of shocking. I don't know if it's shocking, but EXO-6 figure captures every detail of Campbell's iconic screen appearances with meticulous authenticity. Trelane's magnificent 18th century style coat features elaborate embroidery along with lapels, cuffs, and hem, while high boots complete the look of the self-styled gentleman warrior. The fully articulated body allows for a wide range of dynamic display poses. The authentic screen-accurate portrait of William Campbell, who I really enjoyed as Trelane. As Trelane captures his characteristic expression of amused superiority, the slight smirk, the imperious gaze of a being who considers himself the most fascinating creature in any room, the figure also includes Trelane's ornate dueling sword recreated in fine detail. One of my favorite episodes from the original series. I watched it I watched it in reruns, but I watched it in the 70s, early 80s, and this one really stood out. So it comes with ABS, PVC, and fabrics, officially licensed, so it has the Trelane figure and dueling sword. We'll see if there's anything else. Sometimes they don't include everything listed in there. Pre-order $245. Seems like a decent price for what you're getting. Coming January 2027. So let's take a look at the figure. I have only briefly looked at it, so I'm kind of getting first impression here. I like that. That looks good. Let's get a close-up of the face if we can. Okay. Yeah, that looks nice. Not sure that, yeah, okay. His eyebrows seem rather pronounced. So let's get a little. All right, so I did look at this. This was on EXO-6's website. It was kind of the main picture on there showing him. He's a little chubby in the cheeks in there. So I don't know if it's kind of the shadowing is, you're adding kind of the his sideburns in there, because it's hard to tell where the sideburns end in the shadowing. But he looks a little chubby in the cheek. He's also got kind of an angry look, a little angry. So let's look on here at. Okay, so this is kind of the image that I think of when I think of Trelane. Looking kind of happy, gentle, but aloof. I don't love the expression, and I'm not even sure that that's what they're going for. But he looks angry. Here he looks not docile, but okay. I think that's William Trelane or William Campbell and something else. I'm not sure. But okay, let's take a look a little bit more. Okay, so there's another one. Yeah, I don't love what I'm seeing there. I I'm not in love with it. I don't know why if that's the reflection of the camera, I guess, but he looks like I don't know. I don't know if it's the shadowing or what. He looks darker skin there than in here. Like he almost looks like say like a werewolf or something. It's a little bit odd. Okay. His sideburns maybe look a little more pronounced, although I'm not sure that there was any much they could do. Okay, so I'm gonna give the facial sculpt, and mind you, I grade these pretty harshly. So because I'm used to these high-end figures having just exquisite, like for Hot Toys, they're having facial sculpts that just are incredible. I'm not blown away by this facial sculpt, but I haven't been blown away by too many lately from EXO-6, and it's entirely possible. See that just it's not terrible, but you can see even the expression of his eyebrows down like that makes him look angry, and that's not how I think of Trelane. And his face looks a bit wide. I mean, I guess he kind of looks like he's got a 5 o'clock shadow there, maybe a little bit. I'm not in love with the facial sculpt. It's not terrible. It's not terrible at all, but okay, so that's it. This is kind of the closest close-up, and he just looks kind of like I don't know if you would call it like a fop, like a dandy, I guess here the words you could use, and that's not what I see here. He looks rough, he looks aggressive, so people can decide themselves. I will almost assuredly, I think I'm going to pre-order it very, very soon, but I'm hoping the facial sculpt does not look like that. I'm hoping that over time they improve it, so they have until January 2027. We got months left to, and this is the kind of thing where sometimes it helps to have a negative fan reaction to the facial sculpt. So there was one with I can't remember which one it was, but there's been some really bad facial sculpts. I think the facial sculpt on Captain not Decker, from the original series, and I can't think of his name now. The original captain on the original series, his facial sculpt was bad. It was just bad, and they shipped it like that. So I think that it's probably not a bad idea to give some negative feedback if you don't like it. If you like it, then give positive feedback. But it appears that they are willing to adjust, and if you give specific criticisms of what in my opinion, I think the face looks too wide. I think the skin looks a little too dark. I just think he looks like he's itching for a fight. That wasn't what I thought of Trelane as. Trelane was ultra powerful, didn't need to get physical because he was unlimited power. So anyway, that's my take on Trelane. I'm excited for the figure because I like the character. Don't love the facial sculpt, but it sure is not. It's not a complete mess. It's just there's quite a few things I think could be improved on.